Spencer, Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. We're proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. This is More Than Just a Podcast. Season 13, episode of 36. And this is the question time. Before I do that, Nigel, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my shed.
Oh. John, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home talking to yous.
And the recording's working tonight. It's time for this. Yeah, Facebook Critter Question Time.
Or something like that.
Where you, the 8 listeners, get to ask us some questions which Nigel put up earlier. By the way, at the end of this, if you wait to the end of question time, I know Huey spoke to Harry Redknapp and Barry Silkman. Both have got racehorses. I've got some tips from tips for Cheltenham. Do you want them at the end, boys? Do you want them at the end?
No, not really.
I don't really bother, mate. But you can do what you like.
Not from them two, that's for sure.
Well, Harry's taking some horses down there. What's wrong with Harry? Is he not good at his racing tips?
No. It's funny you
Harry
moved us
Silkman
on. You didn't talk about TalkSport. TalkSport were non-stop, wall-to-wall West Ham from what
Well, yeah. I mean, you had Nicky Hawkins on, or as John thought it was Tony Cotty, who spoke quite sensible, did Nicky. We're going to get him on a
Quite
future
sensible.
podcast.
I thought he was good.
He was good. And then you had Harry on, which I put a clip out, and then you had Chezza on, and Chezza was very much on the fence.
Jeff Stelling went down in my estimation.
Well, he kept on repeating. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, just
Be
what
careful
else do you want?
for.
What do you want?
Yeah, but he's playing the pantomime villain.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I felt Nicky dealt with him really well. It was funny because he started off saying we were 8th. It just shows you how far behind the 8 ball they are. They didn't even.
We 9th?
Yeah, we're 9th. And I thought Nicky spoke well in that he said that he gives. I think Moyes has done well for the club and everything else, but obviously Nicky says time for him to go. The football. Yeah. I'm not sitting here defending the football at all. Because it is poor. I do think this team can play better though. And I will go every game I can, hoping that they play better.
Yeah.
But no, I think, like I say, I think it could be a taste of the Tottenham and Contes and whatever. I just think they just bored of the same.
Yeah. Anyway,
but it's funny. Sorry, is that though the Tottenham fans? I mean, my Tottenham mate came back from the game Saturday against Wolves, and he weren't happy. Ange Ball's not endearing.
Yeah, a few people. They were talking about that on TalkSport as
yeah,
well.
but the funny thing is they've won a lot of games late. So they've played like really bad apparently for like 80 odd minutes, and then they've nicked games like Brighton. They've nicked them in the end. So
I'll tell you who's impressive is Gary O'Neill. He's doing.
Yeah, we missed
very
out on
good
him,
work.
and we had the chance of Eddie Howe. But anyway. Back to...
Anywho.
Yeah. Question time. Have we got any questions? I bet we have.
Not many tonight.
Oh, right. Okay. Because people are just switching off, maybe. They've had enough.
Yeah, I think the fact we're one man down and the reason he gave.
Yeah.
It is wearing, isn't it?
It is wearing. No, and I've stayed off sometimes on that. By the way, I know for some reason the Telegraph keep on going on about Graham Potter. No interest in Graham Potter. No interest in Jose Mourinho, even if the position was available. So I don't know why the Telegraph and Jason Burke keeps on going on about
but
Graham Potter.
the thing about the press, isn't it? They have to write something every day. They have to
I
write
know.
something every day, and they can't have even when they run out of things to write, they've still got to write something because that's their job.
Yeah.
So they'll just say anything. They'll get any tenuous link. You know how the game works.
Of course I
don't
know how
you?
the game works, yeah.
You know, that you throw enough out there, you'll get something right. I mean, it's a bit like you and X, isn't it? You know, you throw enough out there, you'll get one thing right.
Just
Yeah.
need at this time as well. All they need to do is put a headline out of "Careful what you wish for," and there you go.
Yeah.
There's your
Well,
article.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get a
Anywho.
question. Anywho, let's have a question. And just to be clear, just a little update. We are 50 minutes in, and I've just saved again. I've got 15 saves already.
Yeah, we're not bothered.
Okay.
All
Really
you got to
good
do is
these new
stop your
laptops,
bloody.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all you got to do is stop your Google from updating.
Yeah, I know.
That's all
All
you
right.
got to do.
All
You don't have
right.
to save it.
Don't kick a man while he's down.
Well, why not?
Or
It's a good job you're the IT director for a major company, isn't it,
Yeah.
Nigel?
yeah,
Yeah.
lucky
That
I'm
does a lot
sorry,
of
no,
government
that's
work.
that's
Yeah.
you, isn't it, Sean?
lucky
Sorry.
over I'm over a stone lighter, or
Or what?
Or what?
or
Well,
what?
you come and sit on me. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right.
Come on, get on with a question.
Father, he still is. Chris Kinch. Hard to find something positive about it all at the moment. So he just wants to say thank you to all of us for the podcast and keeping us all going. Not much of a
That's
question.
all right.
yeah?
No,
It's-
someone
it
is
is
going
hard to
on
do.
tonight. John Bish says Sean was paid by Sullivan to delete episode 33. I wasn't. We want Brighty says we want the lost episode. We demand to hear the rants. It was not deleted. It was not a conspiracy.
No.
It literally was an update, and I sent the
People may be
screenshot to prove
surprised
it.
that the big rant didn't include John or Sean.
No, it didn't. No. The rant included our very own Len and our very own Shedman.
Yeah. Who saw a game differently, even though they sat next to each other.
Yeah.
Evening, gents, says Jake Daniel. He said, I was wondering if you could think of times when managers have clearly lost the dressing room. What were the signs you saw, and are you seeing those now? He says, I can clearly see frustration from Caduce and Bowen, but does that mean he's lost it? He says, I'm a younger fan from the States and was only privy to the tail end of the Allardyce era when I moved overseas. He's gone Brady out, Moyes out, everybody out.
Kretinsky out. Let's have him out.
Why? Why do you want Kretinsky out?
Because he ain't doing anything. The inactivity
He is.
of the
I
board
think. Well,
is
he's got 27%. He
he's a
can't
large
do
part of
anything
it.
with an ally.
what he can do if he puts if he starts putting in pressure to the board.
Well, I think that's.
What do you think he's supposed to do, though, John?
He's supposed to say, "Look, I'm not happy with this. Can we do something
Well,
about it?
he needs then to create an ally to get.
Can we have
That's
can
how
we have
England
some
balls work.
stability in the management role, please?
So
Because at the moment we're
All right,
losing
that's
£3
the
million £3 million a position. Is it?
right, no,
Is that what they lose?
But
Two.
Two.
so to give you that stability, they're going to give Moyes another contract. What do you
There you
say?
go. What do I say? Well, I'll say, well, good, we're stable, but I ain't watching it anymore. That's what I say.
Not to be rude, John, but your £300 a year, they're not going to miss.
Oh, I know.
Because you're
that's fine.
still going to have Sky Sports, right? You're still going to watch football. You might just not watch West Ham, and they sell your
I'm
seat
not-
to
I'm
someone
not-
else.
I'm not sure whether I would. I think it would start to suck so much life out of me that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure Sky will collapse without your subscription
sure?
as well. I think so. But you know what? And I know I'm being flippant, but, you know, there are a lot of people that didn't make the move to the new stadium. And if they lose people, they just replace them again. I know
They do. With really
Sean,
with
I-
Arsenal
Sean-
fans and
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Man
I'm not
United
saying,
fans.
and tourists. You know, you're absolutely right. But it's a business, as Nigel said earlier. Go on, Nigel.
And that tap can dry up.
Yeah, recession's coming. Well, recession's here.
it is.
I mean,
I
have you-
don't remember any visible signs of dressing rooms being
No,
lost.
no, can I? I was just thinking, I can't.
I mean, obviously there was times where I remember Julian Faubert days and stuff like that where they were just so bad you just thought they can't be playing for the manager. But
No, I think the last throws of Avram Grant, I thought, you know, when Scotty Parker sort of was doing the team talks at half time.
You might be
But
right.
then, when Avram Grant got sacked, Brady stopped him from getting on the coach to go back with the team from Wigan.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And Scott Parker, I think, and Matt Upson, as the senior two players, went to Brady and said, "You can't be doing that because that is bad."
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad to sack him there and then at Wigan. You know, wait till you get home.
But they tried to get O'Neill in, didn't they, before that?
So
And fucked that
so
up.
they fucked that up.
Yeah.
But then he had us in the semi-final of a cup at that point. So there was that hardship to it. But I thought he'd lost it. But then you think, well, if he was thought of that bad, where they'd lost the dressing room, would they then sort of defend his honour once he's been sacked? I don't know.
What do you think though when you look at the likes of Kudus and you know he hasn't been the same since he's come back from his tournament. You look at how Bowen's performed for the last since he's come back from his injury. Yeah, I mean all these players have. I mean James Ward-Prowse started off like really well and he looks like a poor man's Noble at the moment. Do you think he'll ever score a free kick? Do you know what I mean? He had a great opportunity, didn't he? Do you think he'll ever score his free kick?
Well, maybe when Sean stops bleeding every time he gets a free kick going, if he scores this, he's going to equal Beckham.
But that's what I always say to Big Keith.
Well, why don't you shut up, right? And then he might score it. You could be the curse.
Oh, do you reckon I've got that much control?
Yeah.
To be fair, I've often thought you are a curse.
Yeah. You know, look, there's players. It's twofold. He sets the team up. We can see the way he's setting the team up, and I get frustrated with his lack of change. As you know, as the old adage, isn't it? You know, you can't keep madness in it, or he's doing the same thing and expecting different results.
Yeah, sign of madness.
So, but then the players, I don't think he's lost the dressing room. As I said, he signed a lot of these players. So I don't think. And when players down tools, they're actually hurting the fans more. I think there have been times when I thought players are not playing for the shirt, and I got more of the ump with them than I did the manager.
Do you think they could have a level of? Hold on a minute. You've just got rid of two of our favourite squad players or favourite players in our Fornals, I would imagine, was quite popular. We've got two of these players and you've just brought in a defensive midfielder and we've got, no cover now or we ain't got, Do you think they look at that and think, what is going on?
Well, that happens. We saw the frustration from Mark Noble when Grady Diangana was signed. And he was the club captain at the time and I thought he stepped out of line to say what he did publicly. So obviously things like that will affect, it's a breakup. I think I'd make you right. I think Fornals was probably very popular. But then again, perhaps they knew he wanted to go back to Spain. So they would have expected it and knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up is the old Boycesterhammer. It's Grant Croxford. Evening, chaps. It's a grim time on social media.
Stay off it.
Try and avoid it, Grant. Just dip your toe in. It says, do you think that Moyes suffers from the first season he took us to 6 being in lockdown? Well, if you read the article on 6'2", you would have seen the stats for that. Fans didn't get the chance to enjoy what was exciting football in person. Add the fact that lockdown itself was a bad time for many people. It's a forgotten season. He says, I hope the future is bright and the football matches the results. But one constant hangs over the club. And he's gone clown and circus. Brady out, Sullivan out.
Kretinsky out.
Yeah, all out.
All out.
All out.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, I agree. It's it's the board. It's all in their hands.
Michael Evans. He said after predicting it last week, does Sean feel responsible for the sudden demise of Roy Hodgson?
Well, he's
Everyone
not dead.
out.
Come on.
Everyone
I'm
out.
just mentioning how old he was, and I was worried about his health. Quite rightly so, it turns out.
I've missed all this with Hodgson. Obviously, I see he left today. What is it? Is it health
No,
issues?
he collapsed. Well, the story that I heard was he was going to be sacked.
He was, yeah.
Or what they've done is they lined up this the Eintracht Frankfurt, Oliver, whatever his name is, to come in. Now, if you believe Crystal Palace, he was coming in at the end of the season. Yeah. If you believe some of the press, he was coming in this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what happened is that Thursday was going to be Roy's last day. He collapsed and ended up in hospital at the training ground. They had to get an ambulance, and he spent like 2-3 nights in hospital. Second time it's happened this season as well. So today, the press report or Palace report, Roy Hodgson announces he's stepping aside to allow Palace's new manager to come in now rather than in the summer. Now, I think that's a bit of face saving, and in a way, it gives Roy out a bit of dignity, which perhaps he does deserve from Palace. But there's no doubt that Palace were courting this man publicly in front of Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
And maybe it shows as the stress of football what he can do.
Yeah.
Neil, Eddie the Eagle Edwards says, hello chaps. He says, I wonder what you thought of Moyes' insistence of telling us how good we've had it under him. He said, you can sort of understand it as it's been a trophy in lots of European football. But I just wonder how he thinks that will placate the fans being told how good things are when you're only as good as your last game. Strange tactic that surely it knows it was antagonise rather than appease. Cheers all Brady out.
Brady out.
I mean, there's a certain arrogance there, isn't there?
Oh, he's an arrogant, stubborn man. But can you imagine when if we do get through this period and they do give him a new contract, he would have rubbed quite a few of the fans that were kind of on the fence the wrong way.
And this is why, I don't put the thing in why I did vote leave at the end of the season, because there's a point of no return, and I think he has crossed it now. And I think he's crossed it. His press conferences have always been a bit weird, in a way, with what he says. And I get it's your job as a manager to be positive rather than negative. But Jesus Christ, you can't polish a turd.
Yeah.
And
that's what I said. He should have just.
Yeah, you got to lay it on the line. No, I'm not happy with the way we're playing. We got to. At least offer something up, not just sit there and expect people just to back you for the sake of it. It don't work like that nowadays, does it?
Yeah, no, agreed.
Brady out.
Brady out.
Neil finishes with Jonathan Bish. Evening, gents, he says.
Where's the lost?
Yeah, Bash the Bish says, so now deluded Dave has reached a point in his contract where it would cost less to sack him than the Premier League money we receive for finishing one position lower. Could Sully be tempted to dispense his services if we lose again against Brentford? Surely it would be time to allow anyone, to try and get us back on track. Moyes, Brady and Sullivan out. Should we take
Everyone
white
out.
handkerchiefs Monday night, Sean?
No.
No? So would that not be a good... I think that's great in Spain when they wave the white handkerchief.
Yeah, I'm not joining in, right? So I think you said before, and I agree with it, right? We're not the board, right? When the manager's time comes up, I'll support the next manager. It's not for me to say when the manager. I support football team called West Ham United, right? And I go along. It doesn't matter who the board is. It doesn't matter who the manager is. It doesn't matter who the players are. I support West Ham. I let other people decide who the manager is and who buys the club. And I think we're quite fickle if we suddenly, oh no, I'm not watching anymore, or I'm not supporting the club anymore. If they do this, if they move stadiums, I'm not supporting them anymore. If this manager stays it, I'm not watching it anymore, right?
I think that's everyone's right. I don't make him fickle.
Well, it's a democracy, absolutely, but I just think it's a little bit
just calling everyone
disingenuous.
fickle for not coming. People, there's a whole raft of people
come
that
on,
didn't
and
come
I've
on the
been
move.
fickle. I've been agenda fluid in the past, flip-flopping between it. Oh, we've had a bad run as a results, right? Shit happens. Look at all the big teams. Look at, City drawing. They're not dominant as, they have a bad run. Arsenal had a bad
They're
run.
having it terrible, aren't they? City?
Yeah, but look at Arsenal. Arsenal had a bit of a run in, and now suddenly, after
Since
beating
they
us
met us.
6-0, well, now they've won. What was it? 5-1 against Brentford.
5-0 against Burnley.
5-0 against Burnley. They're having a laugh. I've stopped getting angry about it, and I refuse to let football ruin my weekend, ruin my mood, ruin the family's life. I just go, shit happens, right? So I'm not going to go, but
So you're looking forward to Monday night?
I'm looking forward to Monday night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Take a picture of the flag. I'm looking forward to Monday night.
Yeah, so
Nice.
it don't matter how bad it gets, it's still better to be there.
Yeah.
You going to be there, John?
Am I far?
Yeah, he's already said he's not doing that.
Oh,
No.
no?
No.
See, and this is the thing, I know I said it right. Say Moyes gets the contract, yeah, but we don't qualify for Europe, so our Saturday 3 o'clock games double straight
I'll
away.
be there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I mean, football is more about the social than football again, isn't it? It's where we're at.
I said it to someone at work, and they thought, they went, what? And I was like, I truly, and this is the thing, I'm not bothered if Moyes is here next season or not. I'm not. The one thing I hope is, I don't want, and horrible, I'm fed up with European football.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
fed
you
up
said
with
this.
Thursdays. I'm fed up with Thursday, Sunday.
Sunday,
and I know
2
it's
o'clock.
whatever. I can't believe the like of me. That we got this so-called supporters association, the FSA, that are supposed to look after and be the voice of the football fans in the Premier League and with the government and everything. And what have they got to show for all the money they get? And the people running the FSA are the same people year in, year out. Malcolm Clark is the head of it. He must have been there 15 years, getting bankrolled to do this job. And what do? Because they don't represent the football fans. They're just there for the gravy train.
Yeah.
You know, I sat in one of their committees once, and I think 50% of them are still there. And that was 2011. I sat on a committee meeting talking about the Olympic Stadium move. And it just baffles the
Well, have you
life
seen
of
the
me.
latest with what they're tweeting?
What?
Well, they've written for the new structure of the new centre, and they're still waiting to hear back from the club because.
I'm not talking about the West Ham IC. I'm talking about the Football Supporters
FSA,
Association.
Sean.
The FSA,
Oh, you're
Sean.
talking about them. I thought you meant. I thought you meant the
they're
ISC.
the people that are supposed to. Why ain't they organising? I've never understood. Organise a football fan strike. Say
Yeah.
no, we want our Saturdays back. Because
Yeah.
if you ask football fans that go to games, we'd rather go on a Saturday. Do you know what? I'd rather have. I know it's me. I'd rather have Friday night 8 o'clock kickoff and Saturday evening kickoffs than these Sundays or Saturdays at 12:30s.
Yeah. Talking about that, you just remind me. You see, Jake Heath after.
Yeah, he's gone
7
to
years.
Spurs, hasn't he?
He's a Spurs fan all along. Good. I like.
Well,
Jake.
we knew that.
He didn't hide it. Jake.
Could he
Heath,
not recruit the other one to fuck off as well then?
Jake Heath was the SLO originally.
They're not a big fan, though, Nigel.
He was
Not a big fan of the other one.
Not the other one. No, he can
was
piss off.
head of supporter services and engagement, and he ran all the SLOs and all the support. And Jake did a really good job. But he didn't hide it. He was a Spurs fan through and through.
It must have been hard for him just to keep up with the name changes.
And he is now head of supporter engagement for Spurs. Like,
Right, and rightly so. But who do West Ham go and appoint, Sean? Do they go and get Ed Hunt, a West Ham fan?
Yes, they do actually.
What, that woman?
That
Who was at
woman.
Chelsea, West Ham fan.
She's a West Ham fan.
Piss
Oh, by
off.
the way, we're not supposed to talk about her because she hasn't
Why?
been internally. They haven't told people who report to her that, you know, so we won't say her
right.
name yet.
Well, she's coming from Chelsea, so look it up, people.
She's she works
Yeah.
at Chelsea,
Yeah.
but she's a massive West Ham fan, I'm told.
Yeah, I bet she is. She's so massive, she went and got a job at Chelsea. That's how massive she was.
Yeah.
I really
She's a
love
big-
West Ham. I
she's a
can't
big-
wait to watch them, but I'm going to work on a match day at Chelsea for years.
Well,
and
the
years.
same with Jake, who worked at West Ham and he was a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I always said he shouldn't have been in the job.
Well, look, give her a chance.
The other prick can fuck off and all.
Give her a
Spurs
chance.
fan.
Give her a chance. Give the new lady a chance to say her piece. When it gets announced, then we can talk about it.
I bet the Independent Supporters Committee can't wait to sit down with her, Sean.
Well, they're not hearing anything from the club at the moment.
Of course they're not.
They keep on asking questions, which I keep on answering over Twitter, and go, "Why West Ham say they don't run Club London?" I went, "Well, they do. You know, they sell the tickets and look after the sales, but the catering is run by Delaware North. The catering and the bars are run by Delaware North. So it depends what your question is and what the context is." And then they asked why West Ham weren't getting back to the new structure of the Supporters Association. I said, probably because they're waiting for the new lady to take over from Jake. So I'm glad to be of service. And they did like this.
I think some people would look upon it as you just being a busybody.
All right. The one thing I did like, the thing I said, Sab Mark 6, which they did like. So there's a little bit of humour there. But it is the Sab Mark 6, isn't it?
Oh,
Well,
very funny.
look, the good news is that the bondholders have gone.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, the bondholders have gone.
How do you know that? Oh, I know how you know it because I know who's in the chair, by the way. So I
the
can work that out.
bondholders have gone.
What, from the Supporters Association?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think I think any old irons have gone.
yeah.
And the reason why they
Was
had
it,
to
any,
go,
was it any old eyes? Was that the...
The old,
the old people's-
people
look,
our age.
that's a fantastic thing, any old irons, yeah? And I can only applaud the club for doing it. But, no, you don't sit on a fans committee when you're bankroll, when you're a club made, this is supporters, and when they're ad hoc to the club, all we need now is Pride of Irons and Baymammers to go, and then we've cleared the decks out.
Yeah.
And I would argue... I'd
argue.
argue the supporters club as well, because I think the fact the supporters club sit on it when membership expired in what, July, the membership expired, so technically they've got no members.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Is it true that the chair is now on from Hammers United?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, that's what I hear.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, anywho, that might be wrong, but that's just what I hear. Let's
All
go
right.
back to the questions.
Well, I do know. Thanks.
I'm sure you
anyway. Paul Celeb Suet Artura to us oldies says, "Hi guys, hope we're keeping well. What specific tactics or players combinations have contributed most to West Ham's impressive performance this season, and how do we get back to that form?" Wow, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Paquetá.
Yeah. That's the obvious one.
I think the Paquetá and Emerson combination
Yeah.
on the left side was really sort of like productive.
But it don't work, does it, with the CDMs, like the three of them? Or,
No,
you know,
it
the
doesn't
way
work.
it don't work, does it?
No, he can't. No, he can't play all three of them. Well, he didn't on Saturday. He didn't start with him. Did
No. But it you know, I don't know. I mean, it's mad because you think, funny enough, we did have 51% of the ball. So people complain that we try to play football without the ball, and actually we had more of the ball than Forest. But what I'd argue is Moyes got out Moyes. And the one thing we didn't cover is the times of their goals.
Yeah, well, we did.
Well,
They're both in injury time.
Yeah.
We did cover that. We said the first one was in the dying seconds of the first half. It was 45 plus 5, so it was on 49. And the other one was on 94 plus 4 of, I don't know how many added minutes it was.
I mean, you look at him, he looks good, doesn't he? Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah.
He looks like, we all knew he was a good player. He was just lost his way, and now he looks like a good player again.
Yeah.
That defender they got, that Murillo, is it? A Brazilian?
Yeah, the blonde one.
He really looks so good. And, you just think, well...
I don't think they're going down.
No, I don't think they'll go down. The funny thing is, though, well, you say they're not going down.
They might get a points deduction.
Yeah, Moyes has spent 500 million buying 36 players. I think Forest have signed 36 players in 1.5 seasons.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You look at that side, and I think it's only been thrown together over the last sort of 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked more sort of jointed team. They looked more patterns of play going on. They looked more, like a team that knew each other.
Personally, I preferred their old manager, Steve Cooper. I think he'd do well for us, funny enough, or, as such. But still, Anthony Collins says, "Evening, gents." Oh, and Sean. Fingers crossed, Sean. You've sorted the podcast out.
I have. It's all. I'm saving. I've just saved. What are we up to? We're up to 75 minutes. I've just saved. All right. So we've definitely got 75 minutes in the bag.
There we go. What's more of a poison chalice under Moyes? Being a striker and getting no service, ruining your reputation, or being a defender and having to try and defend constant attacks and subsequently ruining reputations? Do you think defenders or strikers prefer the system more? Brady Moyes and Whetstone out.
Everyone out.
Piss off.
So who works better under Moyes? Strikers or?
I refuse to answer.
I think Moyes is the death knell for a striker. So I would say the defenders enjoy it more, because if you're a good defender and you're defending a lot, you're going to show it. So,
funny enough, Moyes' goals records compared to all the other managers we've had is far better.
Yeah, but how many of
more goals under Moyes?
How many of them goals that we've scored have been from dedicated strikers?
Well, we haven't got a dedicated striker.
Well, there it is. We haven't had one for 2 years.
So I would argue,
not many.
Not many. Yeah.
So I think defenders would fare better under his system.
Yeah, but why are we conceding so many goals? That's the for such a defensive manager.
Because we haven't got very good defenders. Because Zuma's just can't run. A Gerd don't look like he wants to be there at all.
Yeah.
I think a Gerd's a good defender. I just think he doesn't want to be there, or he doesn't like how he's set up, or whatever. But so yeah, I know Mavropanos has had a mistake in him, but I think a run of games he'd be more solid.
Yeah. Okay. Barry Carcass is going to pick the bones out of this. Everyone, he says. As much as I'm not fundamentally Moyes out, him turning into Allardyce, he ain't done that, Bell. After the match, he has done that. Actually, he has done that. Turned in after the match against Forest. Any chance of him staying has closed for me. Realistically, it won't happen before we play Villas. I feel Europa will keep him in the job. I would play 3-5-2 versus Brentford. He's picked his team: Areola, Johnson, Mavropanos, Gerd, Oggy Emerson, Alvarez and Paqueta. He said he's dropping Ward-Prowse unless Paqueta's not fit, and then he'll put Ward-Prowse in with Bowen, Antonio and Kudus. With them two getting tighter to Antonio. Thoughts?
Well, I think there's got to be some sort of like I wouldn't be disappointed if Ogbonna come back into that team in the defence. I mean, he seems to be forgotten. He played, was it in the cup or something? He came in and he had a couple of good games this season. But I wouldn't object to him being brought back into the fold a bit more, considering our defensive record, as you say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you know, there's a bit of me thinks, why not switch it to 2 up front? Why not have Antonio and Kudus up front?
Who plays like that anymore, Mo?
Yeah, but here's a thing, Sean, yeah?
Yeah, be the only ones to do it, yeah? Yeah.
You know,
I knew you were going to say that.
But this is the thing, yeah? I remember 3-5-2 was not a formation, yeah? I think it was Aston Villa in the late 90s. Were one of the first teams. And they got into the top 4, or briefly.
Was that O'Neill?
No, it was under John Gregory.
John Gregory.
Yeah,
It was quite a British-based team, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of...
It was when Gary Charles was good. He had who's the geezer that always scored against us? Oh, I've forgotten his name now. They had David James in goal. I'm trying to think who'd had that. I don't know if it was Julian Joachim up front, Dwight York. You know, they played a 3-5-2, and it baffled people. Now 4-4-2, actually, when you look at it, you say you surrender in the middle, yeah, but where you've got 2 banks of 4.
Well, we bypass the middle.
Well, you say that, but he's got 2 banks, so you, instead of having down the wide areas, instead of only having one player, which we tend to have, so like we'll have the left back like Emerson or Kufal be bombing on, you got someone in front of them, a dovetail. And if he's looking for a replacement to Antonio, why not Kudus? Built the same way. He's got a better finishing ability, I think, Kudus, than Antonio.
Yeah.
So
if he's looking for an Antonio replacement, we saw him on the weekend. I think that Awinyi or whatever his name was. He did such.
yeah, he loves another one, and he loves scoring against us every game he's played. Now, every game he's played, I think he scored against us. Next up, Ed Hughes, who loves a bit of squirrel. I'll do the jokes then, since Len's
All right.
Evening, gents. He says the most worrying aspect of our current form is that the only way the solution is getting better is Paqueta. During AFCON, we were told it's because of the lack of Aguerd and Kudus, but Aguerd looks horrific and Kudus looks tired. We look worse for having them in the team. I'm generally more pro-Moyes than anti-Moyes, he said, mainly because I don't trust Sully to appoint anyone better. However, a lack of plan B, C or D, and currently a lack of plan A, I'm leaning towards the view that we're at the point. Thanks for the great times, we need to think differently now. I think that's a lot of way that people are giving it. Matty Kemp, Spandau Bally's roadie. Evening, gents. He says he's got some stats. We love stats now. Some stats to mull over.
Go on.
We all know West Ham play on the back foot. It's worked when we beat Brighton away. We only had 22% possession. No team has won a game in the Premier League with so little possession as that. Yet across Europe's major leagues, only 6 teams out of 96 have had less possession than West Ham. And all 6 ranked 15th or below in their respective leagues. So we're punching above our weight for possession. He said, I think the last point suggests that we know what will happen with regards to Moyes' tenure at West Ham and our final position. And he's got one last stat for me, which is a bit of a crap one, to be fair. He said, who has the best record statistically as an England manager? It's Sam Allardyce. 100% win record, played 1-1.
Got sacked.
Right. But if you put my formula, perhaps I should do this, who's the England manager. If you put that formula against Allardyce, his average goals per game is shit.
Oh, how's your cup?
Yeah, it's done.
research?
It's been sent through.
Okay.
So it should be coming out.
Shall I send it to the chairman? Yeah.
Well, you can do once it comes out.
Okay.
So, and then I'll look to combine the two and crown the ultimate. Though it's probably easier to work out, frankly. Next up, it'd be old B Dardsy, the old scarecrow himself, old Wurzel. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. He's got a question for me. With the current run suggesting we are now not performing or getting the points, what do you believe it will take for you to say enough is enough, David Moyes? Right. See, I don't know why people keep asking. A few people ask me this, when are you going to be? It's like they're waiting for me to go, oh yeah, I'm Moyes out, and they'll go, ha ha! And yet my stance remains the same. If he's here, he's here. If he's not, he's not. Don't care. So there is, there is no performance. We're not going to go down. So sacking him halfway through a season, I don't get the point. Frankly.
Preparation for the next season.
For what, John? Realistically speaking.
Well, you'd like to think that with the way it's been going, maybe they've got, like Palace had somewhere,
So, all right, so
someone lined
therefore
up.
that means we've got to hire a manager currently not employed. It's possible that manager's currently not employed for a reason.
Well, why did they Palace just get this geezer from?
He weren't employed.
Was he
Oh,
not?
really?
No.
Didn't know he was out of work.
I thought he was out. I thought he was the Frankfurt manager.
No, they sacked him.
Right.
Even though he won the...
Yeah, but he had a bad 6 months at the end of this last
Well, there you
season.
go. It happens.
You know.
Where do you think I am with the Muppet or Puppet bet with Nick?
The Muppet or Pup, what are you talking about?
Well, my £100 charity bet. Whether
What was the bet?
£100 that
Yeah.
Moyes, he reckons
That's a new
Moyes will
You
not
said you
be...
get a new
No, it doesn't matter
contract.
about new contract. He's not our manager at the start of the season. So on the first day of the season, if he's still our manager, doesn't matter length of contract, then I win the bet. If he's not our manager on the first day of the season, then Nick
I told
wins
you,
the bet.
if I was you, I'd set it up now, Sean. And get it over and done with.
You don't know what I know.
All right, well, anyway. No, you're right. Oh, there you go. So Dodsey, it won't happen. But it don't matter who it was, apart from Sam Allardyce. Blimey, I remember I started writing articles almost in the defence of Abraham Grant. Imagine doing that. Blimey. Questions for everyone. Why can't David Moyes see that what he says, and importantly, what he doesn't say in the post and press match, really alienate and
Yeah,
annoys the
100% agree on that.
I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't care. It's
I
obvious.
think he's full of his own self-importance and
Yeah.
arrogance that he thinks he's being disrespected, and we should be grateful,
he
as
thinks-
do a lot of his
He thinks,
buddies in the
"Fuck 'em,
media.
Fuck them. When they've managed 1,000 games, let them come to me and tell me about football. Until then, fuck them.
Yeah,
That's
but
what he
no, I
thinks.
don't mind that. But then when what I would say is people like me, listen to it, start to question him, and this is the thing. The Moyes out, obviously the extreme Moyes out people, they ain't going to change their mind. You ain't going to change your mind, Jordan, are you?
No.
No matter what, realistically, are you?
No,
I'm not criticising you for it. You ain't
Yeah,
going to
I'm
change
not-
your mind, yeah?
But I'm not an extreme.
No,
I'm not.
but
I'm
you're
not like
Moyes out,
I accept
you're
what's
entrenched
coming.
in the camp, and you're not changing your mind.
No, I'm not.
So
I want him gone.
Anything he says ain't going to change your mind.
No.
So why would he go and say those things that actually makes people sitting there that are possible, like not on the fence or whatever, but then think, actually, I think you're deluded now. No, I'm going to join them. Because that's what he's doing. He's actually giving a rallying cry for more fans to join Moyes out by saying
Yeah.
that.
He don't care.
No, but that's the baffling bit.
People keep on asking me how much to pay him off now, saying that it's a
It's fuck all.
it is. So his basic is 4 million. He gets another million in bonuses, so it's just the 4 million. And sometimes you only pay 40% of that. What is there? 19 weeks left to the end of June. Yeah, is that right?
I don't know. Is that the season doesn't finish in the end of June, does it? Oh, his contract does.
His contract does.
Right. Okay.
So he's on about 77 grand a week, right? So times that by 19, it's 1.4 million. That's how much he's got left on his contract. Now, the normal thing is you do a deal and pay it up front by paying 75%. That's 1 million. So his payoff's 1 million if you pay him off up front. 75%. You take a chance. You either carry paying him on the wage bill, as some do, and hope he gets another management gig, or you say, look, I tell you what, I'll pay you off now, 75% of what's remaining to you, take it or leave it. And he goes, 1 million, I'm off. But I don't think it's about the money. It's about, I really do think when they say we hope he turns it around, I think they really do mean that. And because it's a business.
For business reasons.
Yeah, for business reasons. Yeah.
For instance, if they did get rid of him now, and they did bring someone in, had someone in mind, a manager to bring him in,
Yeah,
and there was a positive upturn, and we stay 8th, and we have a positive run in Europe, it would be beneficial to him,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
It's worth £2 million a place. I don't think it's about the money. When people ask me about, and DJ Russie was asking me how much to pay him off, I don't think it's about the money. Anywho, how are we doing on questions, Nigel?
Yeah. Well, you stop talking, I'll crack on.
Yeah, I will.
For a bit of fun, Doddsy says, what's the one thing you've lost that you wish you could bet back and you can't say West Ham? Brady out. That Stone?
Well, no, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story, right? When I moved house, I lost my Apple AirPad Maxes and my drone. They both went missing. They were either stolen or I accidentally put them in the bin. I don't know which, but I wish I could have them back because I had to go and buy them again. But I wish I don't know. It's materialistic.
Ever lost anything you wish you could find and get back?
I've had stuff stolen. I wish I could get back, but nothing I particularly lost. No. I remember having a really good stereo thing in my car once when I was at college, and I got back into the car after one evening at college and put my hand in to push the old tape in. There was just a big hole there. I'd like that back. Took me hours to fit that.
What make was it?
It was a Blaupunkt, yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to get them.
I bet you did.
I never went to Surrey though.
It wouldn't surprise
A lot of that
me.
around. A lot of people nicking.
Well, back in the day, I used to have. I think it was a Pioneer.
Oh yeah, Pioneer.
It was lovely, but a pull-out. Yeah.
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 But what I did
people
was
used to walk around with them.
Yeah, but people used to pull them out and then put them in the bloody under their seat or something.
not me. I had a pull-out. Yeah, but I used to fit car stereos for and car alarms back then. So what I did was I thought I'll beat them. I'll bolt my pull-out in. So I bolted the stereo, attached the bolt onto the back of the stereo, took it apart, put a bolt in, and bolted it to the back of the cage. So even though the handle was there, it couldn't come out. Yeah? So it was unnickable.
Right.
Didn't stop the fuckers trying though, did it?
Also your fault.
Right?
Yeah.
So no, they never nicked it. Yeah, but my
Just
boss
smashed it up.
Yeah, my boss was like, after the third window had been smashed, saying, it went fucking mad at me, saying, you got to get rid of that fucking stereo. He says, I'm fed up paying out for bloody windows. He said, if it happens anymore, you're paying. I mean, I had one kid, he smashed the window while I was fitting a car alarm round the back of where I worked in Bethnal Green. And he smashed the window, so I'd run after him, which I did. When I got back to the van, the soppy, his mate, was still trying to pull my stereo out, and we grabbed hold of him.
See, nowadays you'd just be stabbed.
Yeah, well, yeah, it weren't like that back then. So, the weirdest thing I ever lost was a key.
And the secret.
No, yeah, but what it was a key to my van, and I was just sitting in a chair when I lost it. And I'll tell you why I always wanted it back. It was weird, because I went to see a medium once with the missus.
Oh, here we go.
No, and she turned around and said, like, my mate's got the key. And one of my mates got killed when I was 15. And she, and I didn't believe in this medium stuff, and I still don't. But I gave her my key. Yeah, but obviously it was my spare key. And she turned around and went, this ain't your original key, is it? You've lost the real one.
Oh, come on. Because you can see a difference, but one that's been done in the key cutters and one that's the
it
original
ain't.
key.
It was
One says
exactly-
Yale and the other one doesn't. Come
No,
on.
you idiot. It's a
Doesn't
van
require
key. You get 2
median.
keys for your van. They were both Citroen keys. Yeah? I'm telling you now.
Bollocks.
There's no way. No
Anyway,
way,
you've
Sean.
heard it.
Anyway.
Right, drone ethics.
So, Mark Hunter, evening all, shitfest, he says. Luton, who I don't think we'd beat right now, really put us to shame. I did a bit, actually.
Yeah.
2 down 7 minutes, gave it a real go, but the next 83, can almost accept losing in that manner. Going back to Summers' last week's comments, the ones you heard, he says, I'm sick of having away supporters sat all around me. Is the stadium too big for us? How good would the 45-seat have been at Upton Park?
Look, we've done this to death, but I don't think we're any different from Chelsea, Spurs, or Arsenal.
Ooh.
Right? When it comes to tourists, you know, when people come to London, they want to go and watch a Premier League, an English Premier League, EPL.
Mark
game.
Hunter says, going back to some of the last, I'm sick of having away supporters sat all around me. Not tourists.
Away. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes those away
That's
supporters
just
are tourists,
bad,
right?
that's
Because
just bad management.
They can't get in the away end. So those tourists who support Arsenal or any of these clubs come and watch in the away
That's
end.
bad management from the ticket office and the way the club will operate.
Sean, bloke at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say.
2 tickets for the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
Bought on the Saturday before the game. Not members. Didn't have to be a member. Didn't even think. Just bought it.
I know. That's ticket exchange for you, and I don't think they care who they sell it to.
And
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
I don't know. The funny thing about it, actually, was he said the funniest thing he heard sitting in the West Ham in was behind him was a woman. They didn't go at half time. She said, but when the Arsenal fans were singing at 4-0 up, she actually turned around and said to her husband, I wish they'd shut up. It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it, to us? They're winning 4-0. What more do they want?
I'll tell you what pisses me off, Nigel.
Yeah.
People who pay £300 from the upper,
Yeah.
right? And there's these same people every week in front of us. They come down and they brag and go, can't believe we only paid 300 quid on our seats. We come down here every single game. And they bloody do.
Oh, right.
I'm not going to grass them, but you know what? If everyone did that, it sort of ruins it. So they've paid 300 quid. And they come down and they find a gap. And they, at the start of the game, and they just slot in, they move around all game.
Oh, right. So a certain lady didn't buy a seat up the back and go and stand down then, Sean.
Lady who?
Like, for the Arsenal game.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Not one of my relations, is it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but that's a one-off. No,
Oh, it's a one-off.
Not the same.
It's a one-off.
These people do it every
So your
single
kids
game.
have never done it? You never bought tickets
Yeah, but
for
that's
your
a
kids?
one-off as well.
Oh, that's a one-off.
But
So,
these people do it every single... They've got no intention of going up the top. And actually, the person you just talked about who couldn't buy a ticket... Do you know what? For the Arsenal game, she still had to pay like 75 quid or 65 quid.
well, she'd have been patient. She could have had one for 20.
Yeah, I know.
There you go, see? Lack of patience.
Anyway, moving on. Anywho.
Hey up, says AI Sean. He says, Brady out, Sullivan
Brady
out,
out, Sullivan
Moyes out,
Kretinsky out.
everyone out. He said Paqueta, Bowen and Kudus. Dismal against Forest. In many ways, get this, many ways worse than Arsenal. Given
Not
the
sure
quality
about
of the
that.
opposition. Yeah, I'm not sure. Deluded Dave's back, spouting absolute nonsense, reminiscent of the fat one. Yep. Without Paqueta, we offer absolutely nothing. Our defence is shocking. Zuma and Gerd need to spill on the bench. Bring back Ogi and Mavropanos. He says massive rebuild is needed in the summer, and Moyes is definitely not the person. He's got questions. Does Moyes actually believe the guff that comes out of his mouth? I think he does.
Yes, he does.
What's the senior source going to do when the gold shares are sold?
Well, they're only 10%, right? So even at 15%, they can still swing enough with his 39, almost 39%. Or is it? No, hang on a minute. No, it's not. You're right. It brings a new dynamic. You've got a good point, AI, Sean. With 15%, you can't swing the vote, and therefore you have to have an ally of either Trip Smith with 8% or whoever the new person is with 10%. You're absolutely right. Unless you ally with Kredinsky, of course. It's all
Kalinsky
about
out.
that 50.01% to get a majority. Whoever can muster enough votes gets to decide board decisions. In reality, they all are unanimous, and there's usually a vote. No one votes against it, but I think this might be the exception on renewal of the manager's contract. It probably is going to be a free vote.
Right, okay. There you go. There you are. Just make sure. Any on Twitter, Sean? Quickly look.
No, I just asking for episode
So Dan Numbers
33.
ain't asked anything.
I can have a look. Why? Did he ask something in particular?
Well, no, I think he did. I'm saving one at the end.
Okay.
Adam Leatherbarrow.
I will have a look on.
That's right. Go and have a look while I read out a few. Adam Leatherbarrow says, "Chaps, this is I know I've taken some stick, but hopefully my feelings have been made. Moyes has gone from hero to villain, and all by his own doing. Can you please put together a solid defence to David Moyes as why he should remain as West Ham boss? Cheers and keep up the good work." And he says, "Nigel, I love you, mate." Ha 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 ha.
You're right. Dan Numbers did say, Sean calls it business. Well, top businessmen are ruthless decision makers. It's time for Sullivan to shit or get off the pot. Remember discussing with Nigel and Len pre-final how the summer was a chance to restructure almost a year on, and it's still the same situation. And I think everyone else... Oh, John Bish says, Nigel, Len, John, can you please make sure you don't let Sean and his dodgy laptop process tonight's issue of More Than Just a Podcast? I don't want another episode to go mysteriously missing. Too late. That's it from Twitter, apart from the people going, Sean was paid by Sully from John Bish to delete it, which I said earlier. So that's it.
So the last thing I can think of is what's this? Is the truth in all this? Paqueta hiring lawyers.
Well, there is a bit of truth in that.
So that he can move in the summer.
Yeah, so Live Nation. So good point, John. Live Nation are...
well made, I think, as well.
Well made.
Thanks.
Live Nation are representatives of them, as is our friend with curly hair. And there's been 5 approaches from Premier League and 10 outside the Premier League. So look, there's no doubt that everyone sees Paqueta as a really good signing and they want to sign him in summer. But no one will sign him until he's free of this charge. Well, he says he's completely innocent. The thing's dragging on, and they've let it be known in the public eye. Let's be honest, they didn't actually write to the FA and threaten, but they've made sure it's been leaked that if this investigation is not finished by April, then they may take the FA to courts to make them, put her up or shut up. Remember, he hasn't actually been charged; he's been investigated. So the answer may be, and I think it will be, no charge to answer might be there. But here we go. If we go on beyond May, well, people may start worrying, including Man City. And not Pep Guardiola, apparently to an agent, it's his number one summer target if he's clear of the accusation, he's not found guilty, and he's not charged. But this is the big if. He feels he's in limbo, and it's a restrictive practice. I don't know what law that they would take them to court, but they're firing a shot across the bow of the FA, going, "Do you know what? Be careful."
And also making it be known he wants to be out. So,
well, that goes without saying.
What is his buyout clause in play then?
Yeah,
is it 85
million. There is the agent confirms there is a buy. Everyone knows about it. There is a buyout clause for 85 million. But look, if there's 15 clubs interested,
what's the Asians got to do with it, Sean?
Agent.
Oh, agent. Sorry.
If there's 15 clubs interested, right? We don't have to accept the first person that bids 85 million. Well, we can have a little bit of a competition and sell him to the highest bidder,
Oh, that'd be great.
which will be, let's be
Oh,
honest,
that'd be
City.
great.
It'll be hard because I think he's got his heart set on City. But there you go. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to sell him.
Yeah, I'm sure you can't. 85 million or 100 million is, a good bit of business.
He's been my favourite player for a long
I
time.
agree, John. Look, I don't want to lose him, and in some ways, I want the FA investigation to drag on.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk
Go
about
on.
dragging on. Right. We've got about 5 or 6 left.
Oh,
So
go
let's
on. I thought
whiz
you'd
through.
finished.
No, I hadn't. I just
Oh.
wanted you to go off. I didn't realise actually you'd be that quick. So, is there a defence for Moyes as to why he should remain as West Ham boss?
Good for business.
Good for business, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. One thing
board-
we all agree.
Suits the board.
And one thing I will say, as I do say to people, no manager's beyond redemption. He can redeem himself.
Yeah, agreed. And
He's
I
just
think
got
that's what.
I don't know why he don't. I don't understand.
And this is the thing that I live in hope, and that and the reason why I do that is I'm a West Ham fan.
Oh,
'Cause if you don't live in hope, what have you got?
Can you imagine, right? If he brought in, say, 2 of the youth players into the squad and started blooding them, and started playing different system completely, and got them running about and closing down and having a go, he would change it round.
I mean, there's a bit of me that thinks, and this is the thing, we're not going to go down. We're not. So we've only got the European Cup, so we're going to bob about in the middle. So why not say, right, Mabama's going to start the next 4 games? Give him a chance. But he knows he's going to start the 4 games.
Bring that Earthy in. Give him a little run in the middle.
And
See if he can make a difference.
and have another couple that, right, you'll come on for 60 minutes and you'll come on 60 minutes. Use this mid-table mediocrity to see how good the youngsters are and if we can build a team around them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the money as we drop down the table ain't going to be there. Money from Europe will be kept back. We ain't got an endless tap of money. So at some point we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. Yeah. So Daniel Bibby, Sullivan and Brady out. Does Sean know if there's plans for
Brady
a big
out.
rebuild? Well, we've just been talking about that, Dan. He said that he doesn't think there'll be much money need to be spent potentially spying. Is there? But can the new manager integrate some youth players? Well, you've just been listening to us talk. Averley are winning 1-0. You hear? He said, do you have a new choice of manager? His pick is Gary O'Neill. I mean, I would like to see Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
I would take Gary O'Neill. Absolutely.
Whether Wolves we're going to get him out, I don't know. Jason Backhouse to the 70s, our favourite time traveller. Evening, gents. He said, I was hoping to get some sort of response at Forest following the 6-0 drubbing by Arsenal. He thinks Moyes has lost the dressing room and the players aren't playing for him. And they look so disheartened and not interested Saturday. Lost the fight. No tracking back. Weak tackles. Well, not by Phillips, they weren't. No leadership, which is quite funny. There is no leadership on the pitch. I think we can all agree that.
Yeah.
It really is time for him to go. So we've got 36 points, so no danger of relegation. Give no ball to roll to the end of the season.
Don't know whether we'd want it.
Yeah. Daryl Holly. I'll whiz through this 'cause it's quite a long one. Hope you're all well. He said, I don't know whether I'm the only one worried about who we may end up with Nick. So he's worried about who would replace Moyes. He said, I'd rather him stay or the rest of his staff stay with Nolan as another caretaker till the end of the season than rush the new full-time manager. I'd like Moyes to leave in a good way, but that's why I thought leaving him last summer would have been best.
See, I would have taken that last summer. Would have been good.
Yeah.
He
Go on,
could have.
run out
This
on
is
a
a bit
high.
we
Out
didn't
on a high.
discuss actually. He says about that he's more than aware. It seems after teams don't want to play. He said, but with Moyes saying out for 5 wins out of 14 games, I can see why
that
they
was
feel that way.
terrible.
Well, you say that's terrible. right? But if he wins 5 games, yeah,
Yeah,
if he
that's
wins
15
5,
points. Puts
right?
us
Hold
on.
up, you're gonna draw some, yeah. Naturally, you're gonna draw, so you're not gonna win 5 and lose 9, yeah. So 15 points puts us on 51. If he draws 4, puts us on 55. I think that's our 3rd best points haul for a season in the Premier League.
Yeah, but that does show I mean, we did finish at Christmas with one of our best.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, yeah, but you got to take a season over 38 games. It is a marathon and not a sprint, and you have to get to the finishing line, and that's where and that's why I always say you get rid of a manager at the end of the season, unless you are sitting there and it is, desperation side. But until the end of the season, he hasn't failed in his achievements and his tasks.
But if they changed the manager and got a bounce now and went to someone came in and got a
Ifs and
positive
buts,
attitude
yeah.
into it,
But what if they
Yeah.
brought a manager in and it went wrong? Because
it'd
that could
it'd
happen.
stay the same as what we got.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
but
for
Moyes
our
could turn it
manager,
around.
we could quite easily win 5 games. It's just hold on, there's 14 games left.
Yeah.
Let's just try and be a bit more ambitious, or let's not put a number on it. Let's just talk a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
it is a bit silly to put a number on it. I think he'd have been better off saying, look, if we can get 55 points, we've done well.
Yeah.
That's another 19 points.
Yeah, if he said, look, our highest title has been this, if we can
Yeah.
aim for that, then
Yeah.
we've had a good season.
So,
Yeah.
he says he missed the Forest game. He said he
Well
was staying
done,
away
lucky
from all
to him.
football-related media that isn't this podcast, so he's still listening, so thanks for that. Daryl, I'd like to replace in the summer with either Luton's or Brentford's manager. I do like Luton's manager, I think, but you don't know, is it a flash in the pan?
I
But he
like
thinks-
Brentford's manager.
Yeah, he thinks we'll end up with a crap solution. My question is,
Be careful what you wish for.
yeah, is I know that you want Saturdays back, but you also wanted next level football. Well, actually, to be fair, I don't think you've heard me say I want next level football. So why do you guys who do the podcast not want us in Europe? Surely you
do.
don't expect us in Champions League.
I think
Quite a few people out, but at the right time.
you used to have said Saturday. I'm fine. I'm enjoying the Thursday nights. I want to be in Europe again next year. You know, I absolutely do. Funny, I
hate
can't
Sunday
believe
2 o'clock.
I can't believe you're bored of it already. I can't believe
No, Sean,
we're
hold up.
complaining about Sunday
Hold up.
games and we've been in Europe 3 years running.
I'm not-
Is this the same West Ham, really? We're complaining that we've been in Europe for too long. Really?
No, I just.
Well, that's tantamount what you're saying.
My
because-
complaint.
On Sundays.
You,
My
you go
complaint,
Europa
Sean.
League, innit? You're not going to win it. We're not going to win the Europa
I
League.
get you, John. You know, you live in the Outer Hebrides.
No, my complaint is that okay, I accept the Sundays when we're playing on the Thursdays.
Yeah.
This period of time since we've
I
qualified
agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
till now when it starts again.
That's TV
Why have we not had any?
broadcast.
Why have we not had any 3 o'clock Saturdays?
Well, I looked
At
at
home.
this.
Why not?
I think our last one was Brentford in September at home, and
When's the next one at home? 3 o'clock, Sean, on a Saturday.
I did look at this. And I can't remember. I tweeted it out.
But I think this is
I
what
think the next one's planned before they've made the TV thing, so even that can change.
yeah, that will
Yeah,
change.
yeah, true.
That's what I accept that if you're playing in the Europa League or Conference, you're playing Thursday, Sunday. I accept that. But there is this long period of time when you're not doing it. So why can't we have a Saturday game? We did this weekend. We're at 3 o'clock away. It's like, what's going on?
Darryl followed it up saying, I will be watching West Ham. I just couldn't watch Forest due to commitments. So you didn't have to justify yourself to us.
no.
Couple more left. Scotty Neville, one of the brothers, says, how do you feel knowing your own work, Moyes, our best manager, is being used against you to clarify Moyes defending himself?
I do think your piece has been passed around the club.
Yeah,
I really do. But we don't reveal our sausages.
No,
do we?
it's a bit surreal. when I sit there, and maybe it's because I'm looking for it. Maybe I don't know,
Oh,
because I don't look for it.
I'm
I
not
just hear
convinced
these
that
things.
I don't convince he's saying that because he believes that anyway. He didn't need your work to show him that.
No,
He
there's other
believes
things
that.
said by other people.
I believe that it's been passed around.
Yeah,
I know how it works.
there's a bit of me that thinks they've looked at it.
Yeah.
Palumi Yogaluna. Yikes, he says. Well, I guess that XG post from a couple of games ago was right. Even if Moyes was to take us to Champions League and win the rest of the games this season, I'd want him out. There's no way you can trust that, however accomplished, that would be replicated next season. Can't keep relying on one player to be the person that controls if we have offence or not. We need a real striker, deepen the squad. Phillips out, Moyes out, Brady out, Sullivan out, arm out.
Just get out.
So we're at 2 hours, and I'm assuming this is the last one.
You should have split the... Anyway, Sean, I don't know why you didn't, but it's your own fault. There's 2 more left. Next up, Super Chrissy Bills. Evening, gents, he said. And he makes a good point. I do like Chris. He makes lots of good points. We've had far worse teams, far worse managers, and far worse league positions. But with the current shit show playing out, with the constant thrashings, the terrible stadium, and the match day experience, it's an absolute terrible time to be a West Ham fan. I think that about sums it up, really, didn't it?
I agree with Chris. I see a lot of his stuff agree on Twitter, yeah.
Do you think this feels worse than the relegation years, the bond scheme? And this is it. Or does social media just intensify how bad it is at the moment? Sullivan, the club killer, out. Brady out. Moyes out.
Out.
Good point. Is this worse than the relegation years and the bond scheme?
No.
Or does social media intensify how bad it is?
Absolutely. And I try not to get sucked in. And
I think it all gets intensified, but I think it's all magnified by the lack of matchday experience as well.
I don't disagree there, John. And I just sometimes, as I said earlier, I don't try and let it take over my life and just keep my head down and just think, don't want to read the stuff, don't want to listen to stuff, don't want to listen to talk sport, don't want to do this. You just go, I don't want it to ruin my weekend, More to life. There's more important things going on in the world.
I haven't listened to, there's podcasts I listen
to. There's
to.
more going on in the world that is more important.
Yeah, football
than this.
podcasts I listen to, I haven't listened to this last week or two because I don't want to hear.
I haven't heard the Guardian or Football Day.
Me too.
I mean,
606. I listened to
the
that
only
as a
reason
podcast.
I listened to Nicky Hawkins because you mentioned it, and then
and I heard that in the van on the way in.
And then because I was looking for the Tony Cottee one that didn't exist, I then found Harry. And
how long did you spend?
Oh, I listened to the whole thing.
It was funny.
You knew, didn't you? You knew.
I was thinking, Tony Cottee weren't on TalkSport this morning.
Yeah, but then I listened to the Harry one, and then I listened to that other guy called Dave who talked a lot of sense.
Yeah, I heard him. He came on.
And then I listened to Chesney Hawks, our good friend Chesa. Anyway, let's do predictions.
Well, I haven't not finished it.
Oh, I thought that was the last one.
No.
Go on.
One. I've been saving it for last.
Go on.
I just got to find it because it's like down, and I deliberately saved it last week.
Go on then.
It's from someone called Ballan Diorson, who I think's last name ends in Killington.
Yeah.
He says, now the oracle of West Ham YouTube has seen his prophecies of doom come true.
Yeah.
Will the shed man bend the knee and kiss Nick's ring and beg for forgiveness for his sarcastic Moyes in tweet? Dwarf out, Brady out, and Moyes ball in the bin.
Out, bin.
Well, Ballan Dawson, Killington.
Let's see who gets the last laugh, eh?
He's no. No, nay, never.
Yeah, do you know what? And let's see. I still think I'm going to win the bet. Even if he offered me 50% discount, which I offered him a few weeks ago, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't cash out early.
You can't offer 50% discounts on charity bets, Sean.
Well, I offered him a way out, the honourable way. I'm happy to pay it if I lose. Let's see. But he's got.
I'm sure he is as well.
Yeah, well, fine. Anyway, let's go to predictions. Brentford at home. Yay. How are we feeling? John, let's start with you. Let's start with a miserable prediction.
Yeah, 2-0.
Loss or win?
Loss.
Okay. Nigel?
So I did someone sent a late message, and I'm not going to read it out. I read every message out, but this Chris Ashton bloke, I don't know. I think he's got a bit of a screw loose.
Okay. Well, he's too late anyway. Go on. Predictions.
Quickly, Richard Stubbington says rumours around Lopetegui, Fantasy of Tuchel being fancied by Stein, likes a Potter out of work.
No.
No.
I like Lopetegui, but I don't know what happened with him at Wolves. I don't know what was all that.
He says the importance of knowing the league, therefore Iriola, Deserbi, Postecoglou proved that couldn't be a bigger steaming pile of horse shit.
Okay. Prediction.
Thanks, Rich. You made it. Predictions for Brentford. Do you know what? Oh no, fucking Ivan Toney's back, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go, I think we'll win. 2-2.
Oh, you keep on saying Desmond 2-2. I'm going to go.
You keep saying 1-0.
1-0 win. Of course, I'm going to say 1-0 win. So then we've got the bases covered: a loss, a win, and a draw. I've been Sean. John's been
sitting through question time, which is unusual.
Nigel's been
in my shed.
Bye.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore.